This is Gary Atencia with CNTV, and today we're in Denver, Colorado. I'm here with AgeWise Colorado. Since 2020, this nonprofit has helped you and your loved ones maintain freedom and independence by helping you make powerful, knowledgeable, and informed choices for aging well. I'm joined here with the founder and president, Bob. Thanks so much for joining us here today.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
I'm going to start off a little bit about yourself. You were formerly educated at Indiana University in Business Administration and Management. You are a former railroad executive, businessman, and international consultant. You are now a full-time volunteer providing leadership in the area of aging. Share with me a little bit how this idea of AgeWise began.
Well, I'll begin at the beginning. So I originally got involved with another nonprofit aging-related organization called The Little Help about 14 years ago. I joined the board and stayed. I'm still a board member of Little Help. And then I got introduced to a couple of other aging-related nonprofits. And then about 4.5 years ago, I just kind of started looking around and saying, there's nobody doing what we're doing with AgeWise Colorado. When people need to know something about aging, they typically go to Google, and I did that for my own sake. I was looking for some help from my mother, and I went to Google, and I thought, I don't know anything about these people. I don't know if they're reliable, unreliable,
Sure.
or if they even really exist. And so I thought, it's time that we had something here in the state of Colorado, at least, that is reliable, and people could come to our website, learn about aging related issues with the information we have, be able to attend educational webinars, and to find actually vetted service providers on our website.
So really one of those things where you see a challenge and you're like, why hasn't somebody done this already? And you went and did it.
Yeah.
Colorado's population, of people age 65 and older is growing rapidly and is projected to continue to do so. We're talking about 62 million people across the nation that are over 65. Is information power for this growing group?
Information is power for every group. And we really focus on anybody over about the age of 40. Well, and the reason we do that is because, like myself, when I was looking for help with my mother, I was definitely over the age of 40, but I wasn't 65 either.
True.
And so it was a case of, I want to try to help my mom. And then we have, the older adults themselves who are often looking for things to learn or to find help with a specific area. On our website, we have 12 major categories of service providers, and underneath those there's a lot of subcategories, so we cover everything.
I think 40 is a good age because that's the time you start about looking at the future a little bit and realizing what's going to happen.
Sure.
If information is power, where do most of these folks get their information from? The stats say right now that 88% of seniors use the internet, which is up from 75% in 2021. Does your website show an increase in users in just the short 4 years that you've started?
Very much so. We've essentially, I would say we have about tripled the number of people coming to our website since we launched. We actually formally launched on July 1st, 2021.
Excellent.
So we're a little under 3.5 years old now.
That's impressive. Your provider directory has become really a one-stop hub of information for many issues and services needed by the aging. With providers now in the hundreds, you have many choices for your web visitors. Is the directory set up so it's user-friendly?
It is super user-friendly because we get told that all the time. We don't even ask people. They just say, your site is so easy to use, and we love using it. We can find what we need, and we feel very comfortable that the information that we get is reliable.
No instructions needed, they get on, find what they need. And we're talking about services for finance, legal, insurance, all the way to healthcare. This is what they're going to find there. Are the needs for the elderly and the aging, like you said, 40 plus, are those different than maybe the needs for young adults?
In most cases, they probably are.
Okay.
But for young adults, some of them have grandparents that they're
Sure.
concerned about.
Sure.
It doesn't, 40 is nothing magic. It's just, a number. There happen to be 3 million people in Colorado over the age of 40. So about 1.7 are between 40 and 60, and the other 1.3 are over age 60. Both of those numbers are going to continue to grow.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all this talk about the boomer generation and the silver tsunami and all that. Well, the millennial generation is now bigger than the boomer generation.
Interesting.
So it's just a steady flow.
Yep.
It's not going to be a shock, although it probably still will be.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be.
But it's building gradually
Yes,
as it
yeah,
goes.
yes.
I mean, housing options, job assistance to home care and aging in place. These decisions, I mean, not only fall on the elderly, but many times on the children. Are there resources on there for the children as well?
Oh, yes. Everything that's on there is good for whether you're an adult child of an older adult or you're an older adult yourself. They're both equally usable. Yes.
I mean, as we age, we rely more on medical devices, technology, and transportation options to help us maintain our mobility. Are these all the services that can be found in your directory? And is it kind of easy to narrow them down? Can you kind of break them down by service needed or even by area?
You can break them down into very finite areas. For example, transportation, transportation where in Colorado? Is it in the Denver area? Is it in Aspen, or where is it? And so, yes, you can definitely drill right down into that. Even with aging technology, aging-related technology is probably one of the fastest growing tech areas in the country right now. AARP started a thing called the Age Tech Collaborative about 2.5 years ago, and we're a part of that. And I chose to be a part of it because I want to learn what companies are doing in this space. And there's so many young startup companies who are focused on providing technology to help people with aging in their homes or later in an assisted living situation. So it's really important, and it's booming.
With some of this technology coming to market so quickly, it's important, like you say, to be able to find a place that you're going to see all this and learn more about it. I mean, unlike websites that just offer articles about aging, I mean, these are real resources that can be found and even practical advice for the aging. What has been some of the feedback from people who have used the site?
People tell us things like, gosh, I wish I had found your site much sooner. It would have saved me so much time. I was trying to find help for my mom or my dad, and I spent months trying to find something that was reliable. Because when you use Google, I mean, you literally do cross your fingers. I mean, yes, you might find something that's very helpful, but you also might find something that's not very helpful. And so if you start down that second path, it's going to dead end, and then you've got to back up and start all over again.
So it's a long rabbit hole. You go down and then you have to come back up and
Right.
and look elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not only do you provide a wealth of information for the aging and their children, but what about the caregivers? Can they too benefit by subscribing to AgeWise?
Oh, definitely. I mean, many of the family caregivers are of course, adult children. We have some of our providers on our website are in-home care providers.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are looking for those kinds of services. I mean, they have to pay for them, but still, it's very helpful. It provides some respite care for family members, if nothing else. And we also send out a weekly newsletter. So our newsletter now goes to 5,000 people every week.
Wow.
And it's news. I mean, it's helpful information.
Yeah.
It's not garbage. And, we put in there, the next webinar that's coming up that we're hosting and what the topic is and who's speaking. And we continue to do that. Every time we do a webinar, we record it and post that on our website. We have over 65 recordings on our website of webinars that we've done. So we're all about helping people. I mean, that's the only purpose for our existence. We don't have a fee for service providers to join us on our website. We have a vetting process. We follow that. And once a particular provider passes the vetting process, we'll put them on their profile on our website.
Speaking of providers, I mean, just as important as the users who have access to these providers, so too are the providers that make this directory powerful. How do these providers sign up? And how long is the vetting process? How does that work?
Well, the sign-up part of it is really easy.
Okay.
We have a place on our website on the homepage, upper left-hand corner. It says Become a Participating Provider.
Okay.
They just click on that, and that guides them through the whole process. We first ask them to fill out a form, so that starts the vetting process. We check licenses,
Sure.
et cetera. And a lot of times we do a national background check on the owner of a smaller business or nonprofit. And then what's the second part of your question?
And the other part is, what about ongoing? Do you sometimes have to go back and check and make sure that, reviews are up to par and that type of thing? Or is it just that initial vetting?
Well, we do the initial vetting, and then we do back ongoing checks over
Okay.
the years. Yes, we have done those.
Speaking of volunteering and supporting what you're doing, I mean, they say it takes a village to raise a child, and I would say the same is true to care for our aging. How can the public support your nonprofit? Where can they donate? And does that make it possible for you to continue doing what you're doing?
We definitely appreciate donations, and they can be done on our website. There's a donate button on the upper right-hand corner of the homepage. We also appreciate volunteers.
Okay.
We have a lot of volunteer opportunities, and almost all of them can be done from the comfort of your home, just with a computer and an internet connection.
I mean, Bob, we all want our loved ones to age independently with the freedom to enjoy their golden years as long as possible. With resources, you reduce stress and you ease their mind, really. Has this been rewarding work for you?
Oh yeah, it's super rewarding, and reducing stress is a huge thing for us. We want to reduce that stress. I like to say we provide inspiration, not perspiration. So, big difference.
Big difference.
Yeah.
Excellent. Viewers, let's take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is their website. On the website, you're going to see the full directory of all the resources that you or your loved ones who are aging will definitely need. I mean, you can read the reviews there and be apprised of upcoming events and webinars. They have a complete library, like you said, right there. Also, sign up that newsletter, which is ever-growing, and they'll keep you apprised on actual news that pertains to the aging out there. I mean, this is your premier connection to great resources, information, and education that you can trust. Once again, that is AgeWise Colorado. This is Gary Atensa with CNTV. And if you don't know, now you know.